Hello, Algebra 1. Today we will be practicing some more quadratic formula. So let's go ahead. Let's put our quadratic formula off to the side. It's x equals opposite b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And we're going to go ahead and start with number 1 here. So as you can see, this problem is not in standard form. That means that we are going to have to add our 10x over. And we are going to want to put that right in the middle. That's our b term because it is our x. So again, this 10x is not going to combine with anything. It's just going to go right in the middle, and you should have an equals 0. Now we're ready to go ahead and do quad formula. So our a is 2. It's with our x squared. Our b is 10. And our c is 5. And now I will plug this in. So I have x equals opposite b. So it's going to be a negative 10 plus or minus square root of b squared, please use parentheses, minus 4, my a value is 2, my c value is 5, all over 2a. All right, so next we're going to evaluate the discriminant, which is this part right underneath the square root. We are not going to actually type in the square root. We're just going to type in what's underneath the square root. Okay, and I'm just going to, there we go, make that a little smaller. All right, so that's going to be a 10 squared minus 4 times 2 times 5. And that is a 60. So negative 10 plus or minus square root of 60 all over 2 times 2 is 4. And now we're going to just type this into our calculator, all right? So we are not going to do a factor tree. We're going to round to the nearest hundredth. So first I'm going to type it in with the plus. Okay, make sure to remember to divide by 4. So here's my first answer, negative 0.56. Don't forget my negative there. And then I'm going to do it again, but with a minus. Negative 10 minus square root 60, make sure you press enter, and don't forget to divide by the 4. So negative 4.44. All right, so again, those are representing your x-intercepts of your parabola. All right, let's try another one here. Okay, so we're going to have to move some more things over. I need to subtract over my 4x, and that will subtract with the 3x. And I also need to subtract over my 6, and that will subtract with my 10. So this will be 8x squared. 3x minus 4x is negative 1x. 10 minus 6 is a positive 4 equals 0. Okay. So again, a is 8, b is negative 1, and c is 4. And we're just going to plug everything into our formula. So x equals opposite b, so it's not negative 1, it's a positive 1, plus or minus the square root of b squared, make sure you have parentheses, minus 4ac all over 2a. And next we're going to evaluate the discriminant. So that's this guy right here. We're going to type that in. Negative 1 squared. Notice the parentheses. Minus 4 times 8 times 4. And that is a negative 127. All over 2 times 8 is 16. Okay. But can we take the square root of a negative 127? We cannot, so this is a no solution. Okay, so this means that our parabola would not have any x-intercepts. It would not hit the x-axis. Okay. All right, one more like this. We are going to have to move our 2x over. I'm going to subtract that with the 16x. And I'm also going to have to add my 49 over, but I don't have any regular numbers over here, so I'm just going to put a plus 49 over here, and I'll figure out where to put it in a second. Now our order is off over here. I need my x squared to be first, so I'm just going to put that here. 16x minus 2x is 14x, and then I'm going to bring down my plus 49. Equals, over here is a 0. All right, so now my A value is just a 1. My B value is a 14. And my C value is a 49. All right, so I have x equals opposite B. It'll be a negative 14 plus or minus square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. All right, and again, what we want to do is evaluate our discriminant here. So 14 squared, always use those parentheses. And notice you get a 0. Two times 1 is 2. Okay, so when you type this in, something kind of unique happens here. Negative 14 plus square root of 0. Enter, don't forget to divide by 2. And you get our first answer is negative 7. Okay, and now I'm going to type it in again with the minus. And notice you get negative 7 again, and that's because square root of 0 is just 0. So really this part is gone, and it's just negative 14 divided by 2 is negative 7. This only has one solution, and this means our parabola just hits our x-axis one time right over here at negative 7. All right, so now we're going to draw a sketch of a graph that shows each of the following. We're going to do no solution, one solution, and two solutions. And it's easiest to just do this compared to the x-axis. So let's go ahead, you're going to draw a line at your x-axis. Okay, so no solution would mean we're not hitting the x-axis at all. One solution means we're hitting our x-axis just once. Go ahead, put one dot. And two solutions, we would be hitting our x-axis 2 times. Okay. And then finally, identify how many solutions each equation will have by using the discriminant or by graphing. So we're going to focus on the discriminant. You could type these into your calculator and graph them with your y equals and just see which one of these situations it is. So we're going to do this with our discriminant. All right, so let's see here. My B value is a negative 4 squared minus 4. My A value is 1, and my C value is 4. So let's type this in. Make sure you have parentheses. And that gives us a 0. Okay, so we actually had one of these today. When we have a discriminant of 0, okay, that was this situation right here. This means that we actually only have one solution, okay? We only have one solution. We only hit the x-axis one time. All right, now this one's a little different. Notice there isn't an x value here. This means our B value is going to be, A is 1, B is going to be 0, and C is 10. So I have 0 squared minus 4AC. And 0 squared is just going to be 0. This gives us, oops, an error, a negative 40. So think about if you have a square root over a negative 40, what does that mean? And we had one like that as well. Square root of a negative is no solution. So it doesn't matter what number it is, as long as it's negative, we know it's no solution. All right, last one, B squared. So that's going to be a negative 10 squared. Minus 4 times our A is 1 times C is 16. Let's type it in. Don't forget those parentheses. And we get a positive 36. Okay, whenever we have a positive square root, okay, like we did in number 1 here, this means we're going to have 2 solutions. All right, there's your recap of quadratic formula. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.